Hello and welcome to Decorate It. My name is Mary and this is Wes, and tonight is episode 24.
We've done 24 of these?
Yeah, technically 25 because we had our first one was episode 0, the Getting to Know Us one.
Oh, yeah.
So technically 25, but this is the 24th episode. And we're talking about acrylic tonight.
What's that?
It's where a lot of people pour stuff, make things, mix things together. Usually some sort of resin impregnated with something else.
What do you need for that?
What, to make it?
Yeah.
Or just to turn it?
Yes.
I don't know all the... I mean, I technically kind of do. I just don't know all the names. But you need some sort of pouring resin.
Yeah, pressure pot. You need some type of vacuum puller. Not like a vacuum cleaner, but something that will pull a negative vacuum to get all the bubbles out and everything. What else?
You can do dyes mixed in with it. You can put objects mixed in with it. You can do... I mean, pretty much sky's the limit. If it can be cast, then... You can put whatever you want to into it.
Is there anything that you could think of that you should steer clear of when trying to cast?
I mean, when you're thinking about going from block to round, you have to think of how that inside stuff's going to disappear, if that makes sense. So, like, if you put a bunch of Legos in one and just made a Lego, what are they called? Resin blocks or whatever, acrylic blocks, then part of those Legos are going to be chewed in half. And are they going to still be sealed at that point whenever they get cut in half? So if you did the colored pencils things where you stuck it inside of there and turned it, like that looks really fun. But it's just, you have to picture how it might look chopped in half if you have it in there. Or curved or whatever else it may take on. Turning it, you need carbide tools and some safety gear. We did a PPE presentation on Wednesday actually for Southern. And was talking about acrylic actually. You need a face shield and carbide tools, and you don't need to be breathing that acrylic dust in. So if you don't have a face shield, you definitely need some sort of like respirator. Turning it, acrylic can actually make you feel, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. It can cause headaches, dizziness, nausea, and irritation. So it's not something to take lightly and just go to town turning it.
Dizziness, irritation.
I know it sounds like Pepto-Bismol commercial.
Yeah, I was thinking like drug side effects.
Upset tummy.
Diarrhea.
It's something to take serious. Plus, definitely don't want to use your wood tools on it.
Why?
You tell me why, mister. I tried to.
Because A, it will dull the wood tools instantaneously. And 2, it will actually, if there's a material in there that is not part of the actual acrylic, so like you're casting something in the acrylic, it can chip out because now your tools aren't as sharp as they once were.
Not to mention it can grab your tool and yank it.
Well,
it can do all kinds of stuff. It can shatter it. We had James Fallon. We were playing. The only time that we've ever messed with acrylic, we had him pour up some pine cones inside of a blue resin because we were going to try to use this for that challenge rod that we did for the International Custom Rod Building Challenge. And the theme that year was to build something that represented your state. We wanted
or country or where you were from.
Yeah, where you were from, because it's international. But ours was South Carolina Beach at night. We thought the pine cone would turn down to look kind of like the bark on the palmetto tree. And you painstakingly turned this one down. But even though it was really cool, we didn't like the end result of it, so we never actually got any further than just this, a really big massive chunk of it.
Just turned cylinder to be able to see what it looks like.
Yeah, not to mention that you can actually feel the pine cone too. We didn't have the proper tools, and that was the biggest thing. Carbide tools all the way, all day long.
Any particular tip over another?
That I don't know. You're better at those tools than I am.
I prefer that square tip the most. The square or the circular one, honestly.
We have the square, don't we? No,
yeah, we bought the square one.
That's the one we got for the G10.
Which I actually used that on phone the other day.
How did that do?
It just zipped right through it.
I'm sure it tore through it, didn't it?
Nice.
Gone. It would eat through some cork and EVA, right? But overall, you can put acrylic just about anywhere.
You can make
on
grips,
the lower end. You can
butts. You can do. I've seen people actually make rail seats out of it. Rail seat inserts. You could do technically like spacers between grips as the acrylic. You could do winding checks, trim rings, seat trims.
Little flat butt caps to the real seats and stuff, or the plugs, if you will.
Yep. Seen them made as hoods, kind of like a ring design.
You can do all kinds of stuff with it.
Yeah.
Now, one question. Is it fragile? Like if you drop it, is it going to shatter?
How thin are we talking?
There's tons of stuff running, like grips running around that's got the acrylic. If You're not like beating it on the. Are you really gonna drop that one?
I mean, you take a
Yeah, but
solid block like this, and
that's
it's not really that
massive.
fragile.
Well, no, but I'm
But
saying
you
like,
take a thin insert and drop it, or
yeah, it's gonna
it's
crack.
going to snap.
Mm-hmm.
You'd make it as a hood where it's really thin, and you slide it on, and it can snap then
I'm saying
before it's glued. But
the end built rod.
not
If
that.
if they drop it, like, is
Not
there
that
gonna be
brittle.
any issues or anything?
Once
like
it's
that?
glued up and has support, it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I'm sure
Because
somebody
most of the
was
time,
wondering
like with grips or something like that, even if you bore them out, as long as it's not thin, like making a hood, you're fine. It's not brittle at that point.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just figured somebody probably had that question. Is it fragile? It is in the right situation
Depends on who's using it.
and where it's being used. Obviously, a real seat insert is going to be really thin walled, and that can crack very easily. So,
But once it's glued, it's very unlikely to have problems.
yeah. We had Southern Rod Builders once again contribute a bunch of their photos tonight. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you guys sharing what you do, because it shows a ton of different examples of things that we can't even begin to describe in general. So let's take a look at theirs. So first up is Arthur Long, and this is actually Juma, which is a type of acrylic.
I like it because it always looks like scales of some sort.
Yeah, it looks very much like dragon skin to me. Scales, something of that
Dragon
nature.
skin, snake skin.
Something of that nature. Arthur Long again. This is just a really pretty acrylic mix. I like the textures that's in this, plus the colors. I think people that are pouring these kinds of things are doing, it's art to create this kind of stuff. Another one of Arthur's. Love it. And I'm assuming that when they're pouring these, they're dropping in dye and then probably just pulling to make these little colors mix together and stuff.
We need to figure out how they do that.
Right? Because, that looks really cool. And they've got the lines that are running straight. I really do enjoy this white, red, and black. I think it's just sharp. Bill Goings. So this is acrylics mixed with wood. That's just pretty colors mixed
It's
together.
one of those specialty woods he messes with.
He does a lot of those. But he's got a couple different grips and then the fighting butt. Another one of Bill Goings as the, like a hosel part of it, kind of.
Yeah.
Same.
I figured it was an ice rod.
Yep, it's the same piece, but that's the butt. Really pretty blues mixed together. And Bill Goings, some acrylic rings, which we actually have those. Those are our rings that he made for us. Very, very cool things. Another one of Bill's examples.
Which that's a neat option to offer people to wear.
Rings to match.
You can have one to match it.
Have a ring to match your rod. Another one of Bill's. Basically using these as the butts, and he's going to insert something in there.
He's going to put something in the butt.
Put something in the butt. Bill Goings again with a winding check. I don't know if that's the same. It might be the different rod, but anyway, there's another winding check.
I think it's the back
Little
end
trim,
of the same rod.
trim piece for that one. More acrylic. They even have it in straight lines with a little EVA butt. Che Mullen coming in with acrylic grips for the whole thing, and even the butt and the real seat insert. I do enjoy white and gray together.
Yeah.
I think that's a very classic look. Very nice.
Gives it that marble look.
Che Mullins again.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
With the white and black.
Oh, it's so pretty. And there's so much to look at. First off, nice choice of acrylic. Secondly, nice shapes on it as well. I think that's super important whenever it comes to that. Getting that shape just right. And I've never actually tried to turn it, so I can't say how hard it is. But in general speaking terms, between hard objects like wood versus this, I'm assuming it's probably pretty difficult to... And you can easily mess up when you go to try to turn it down. Of course, you can mess up cork and EVA just as fast. This one is one of my favorites, Glen Goss. And I think it has a lot to do with the color scheme on it, too.
Yeah.
Mixing all of this acrylic in with cork, and there's gold trim bands also mixed into this aesthetic as well. It's just really pretty. Kind of a, dusty blue. That dun blue. Blue dun. That thread we used to have. That's what it reminds me of. Glen Goss again. There is looks black. Acrylic pieces to the real seat.
Looks like a dark navy.
Could be navy. I can't tell from this angle. Another one of Glen Goss's. So this one always just screams Harley Davidson to me because of the colors.
Harley or Fire.
Harley or Fire, yeah. And it's just so pretty and mixed in with cork. I really enjoy looking at acrylic and cork together, especially in these little pieces like this. And it's part of his real seat as well. Just nicely done. Not to mention that's hard because you have to turn that and then turn the cork. You can't turn it together because the cork would just zoop and disappear. This is just another angle on Glen's. I think it's a great shape to that. That almost looked like Maui's hook right there.
Mm-hmm.
You see the first one?
Yep.
I think this is either it's a different version of that other rod or it's a different angle of it. Same one from Glenn.
That's like how all that ties into each other.
Yeah, I really enjoy the gold, like that pale gold with it. I would have typically picked a silver because of the blues, but I really like that gold. I think that was a nice touch. And that is a lot of work just there. All them trim pieces and gluing everything together, like nicely carrying all the details all the way through, you know? I think that's the same rod, just a different angle. Yeah. You can see it up close here. Very pretty. Grady glass. All the acrylic pieces for his grips. Kind of like a goldish color mixed in with that.
It's like a golden pearl.
Pearl. Yeah, it's really pretty. Very subtle. Very nice.
That one looks like it has lips.
This one's by Jim Lew's. I see the lips. It's right over there on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And little lips together. That'd be a fun piece to put in a Rocky Horror Show rod. But that's a really cool acrylic set. Did it with the real seat insert. Just nice. Very fun. Yeah, I see the lips and I also see like what kind of looks like the shape of a shark's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big bottom lip. John DeRocher.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. He did super awesome, like tying all these colors together. It's very beach vibes. I don't know if that's what he was going for, but like between the wrap and the marbling he did on the tie off and then matching it up with the acrylic grip. Like, that's cool. Very, very nice, sir. John DeRocher again.
Looks like smoke.
Mm-hmm. Grays and blacks and not quite white in that. Silver, I guess. John Suchin. So you can see he's been working on this one. You can see all the pieces in the background.
I like the ones that like this. They look like the colors fold in on each other.
Mm-hmm. It's all that like texture is what draws my attention to those. It's very nice, and it butts up really nicely with that real seat he's got there too. John Suchin again. So we've seen these rods. Remember these rods? With weaves and everything. But he's also got the acrylic little hosel on his grip right there.
The little hosel.
He did a hosel. John Suchin again. So this is another one. Yeah, that style acrylic I really like.
Yeah.
I believe he said this was his kid's rod. His son's rod. This one's Lori. I remember the
Juma.
picture. It's Juma. Yeah, I need to find a reason to get Juma. just because I like how it looks. That purple one's pretty. I wonder how they do that. I've seen them where they've taken like, the cardboard inserts. It's like all the little honeycomb pieces. I don't remember what they use it for. But it's like the cardboard's all cut out and they'll stick it in the resin and then you've got this kind of crazy pattern on the inside. This is another version of Juma, I believe. Yeah, you can see the pattern more on the side. She does really fun shapes, pretty color mixes together. Yeah, that's Juma. It's the same rod with the butting it up with the composite cork. Lori again. Appears to be just a cream colored acrylic. Has a little bit of a grain to it. I can't tell. It looks like it has little lines running in it though. Kind of like wood grain.
Maybe it's like a faux ivory look.
Maybe. Lori again with more green Juma. I really like that lime green with the cork.
Yeah.
That's a really good look. Very nice. Michael Ward mixing acrylic and cork. It's a very pretty grip. Nicely done matching up with that. It looks like he took a piece off of a rail seat and put it down at the butt. Cork and acrylic again. This to me screams Mardi Gras. It also kind of looks like a hurricane.
I was thinking photo negative of a hurricane on radar.
I like that he went with like a diamond kind of shape too, instead of just a regular straight cut. Here's a bigger version of it. He also has little trims in it as well. Very cool. Another one of Michael Ward's in the grip and also has like a little trim basically at the end of it. It's a pretty color. Is that little splatters on that blank or is that water?
No, it's splatters.
That's cool. Wonder what the rest of that looks like. Ron Weber.
Say that 3 times fast.
Nope. I barely came out that time for some reason.
Well, I said it.
Oh man. Very nice looking setup here for a fly rod. Just nice. Kind of smoky acrylic grips and real seat insert. That looks good too. Oh, that's cute. That's got to be for a little girl.
Or Valentine's
Or
Day.
Valentine's Day. Yeah, it could be either one. The little hearts. The hearts are adorable. But the pink is pretty too. I'm just not a big pink person. Haven't seen one of those before.
I've seen it, but I've only seen it from Ron.
Yeah. That's got to be a pain to get machined down. Very cool. Those are fun. These are inserts with... Is that an insert? No, that's...
Might be grips. It's got the finger grooves in the bottom.
Of that one, but the other ones don't.
Can't tell. Might be the same.
I like the mix of whatever that is. That color's pretty with... I guess that's like a wood? Or is that just a different kind of...
Looks like stabilized wood and acrylic.
It's almost like sea glass, if you will, that color. Another just nicely done set of acrylics. I mean, it's... Obviously, you guys can see going through here, it is amazing. He also put some of the before they were turned kind of things into
Barber pole.
The barber pole, just in a little block. Obviously, that gets turned down to the barber pole, and it's
Or just above it.
one of my favorite colors.
The infamous
Chartreuse.
don't glue it backwards.
Yeah, don't glue it backwards, Lemke setup. Because Lord Almighty, I've almost done it twice. More inserts. Bunch of fun, cool
I like that
colors.
gray and red on the right.
Yeah, that one's cool. I also really dig the blue one all the way on the left, too.
The green kind of makes me think of a like lizard skin.
The dots is really cool in those things. And the brown, I mean, they're all pretty. It's Juma. Looks good with that color real seat, too. Purple and pink and white. I haven't seen that color before. That's cool. You can also do it, and I don't have to do it just for the Lemke real seats or any of that. You can put it on just a regular one. That's a pretty acrylic. Kind of see-through at the same time that it's not.
It's a winding check
Yeah.
for up above the grip to match it. Used as an insert.
Insert, and then a little piece at the end. Ron's got a bunch of examples. He's like, pick whichever ones you want. And I was like, I like all of them. This one's fun to see, like, it go from block, and that's how he's done the snakeskin one. So different ones that have been stabilized in the resin, and then it's turned down. So this is Shannon Hall. This is really, really cool. So the piece that's on this one is actually this camouflage looking, like army looking one that's attached to that black piece that's underneath of it. And he actually sent in a photo, which I think it loaded last, so we'll see it in a minute. But the shape of that's fun. I've never seen one like dig in and then come back out like that. I thought when I first saw it separated from the rod, not on the rod, that it was like one of those, the start of like a brush holder, like the brushes you put your face cream on, because that's
Beard brush.
Yeah, a little beard.
Shaving brush.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
That thing, I don't use that thing. Another really cool. Shada says duck call. Well, there you go. That makes sense. That's why I hadn't seen one before, because I haven't been duck hunting.
I see it now.
You see it now?
Yep.
He said it.
Now that he said it, I'm like, oh yeah. Duh.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks for the backup there. Cool shapes, man. He's also put in the acrylic that he put the
Little medallion.
little medallions. He's got the anchor. He's got a couple other ones, I think. A couple pirates. He's acrylic with this one.
So if you're running this as a business, that's another way for you to generate income
Oh, yeah.
by using acrylic, and the ways that you do it for rod building convert over to other things.
Well, and then you can also, like, hey, do you also hunt? Or do you go, you go duck hunting or anything like that? And they'll be like, oh, yeah. And they're like, well, hey, I can make you a duck call. And boom, now you've got an add-on.
Multiple streams of income.
It is pretty.
I like the wood in between.
It's very almost like that. That reminds me kind of like the forge fires, if you will.
I was thinking pizza.
Pizza? What is it? Are you hungry?
No, not at all. My first thought was pizza.
Pizza. That does not look like pizza.
Well, when I was making our youngest son's pizza earlier, that's what the cheese pizza looked like when it was cooking.
I saw what it
The
looked
one
like.
he ate the other night too.
Well, no, that one had more sauce on it than it had cheese on it. That one, but that does not look like pizza. That's no, I can't. Stop laughing at you wanting to do pizza. It's bronzes and oranges and browns and stuff. It's very.
I could see like the molten lava too.
Yeah.
But
It's earthy.
my first thought was pizza.
Pizza, for Lord's heaven. There you go. That's the ones with the other ones I was talking about.
Those are cool.
Little pirates. Swashbuckler. Very, very cool. And here it is. Here's the separated one. This is our last photo. It's a duck call. I would have never known, because I haven't been duck hunting before.
We got to fix that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure do.
I'd rather take you goose hunting, though, because I just hate them.
You don't like geese?
I
Geese
can't
are
say
mean.
what I think about Canadian geese.
Geese are mean. We used to have a bunch of geese. We had geese and ducks and all kinds of stuff.
And I'm not talking like the pretty white geese.
No.
I'm talking like Canadian goose.
I don't care what kind of goose it is. They all have attitudes.
Oh, I know.
Every single one of them got an attitude. We had like the big tall white ones. I don't remember what they were. I can't remember right now, but like they would.
You'll think of it after we end.
It's always afterwards. Like you'd walk in the pen and they'd be all like, and just start just.
Do that again.
Nope, not doing it again. You get it one time and one time only. You can hear it on the replay. That's all just great examples of what you can do with acrylic between trim bands and duck calls and adding it to your inserts and your grips and little pieces here and there. Like it's a very useful and very decorative way to add stuff to your rods. And if you don't want to get into the thread work or the marbling or anything like that, then you can get into turning and make your own grips and roll seats and stuff. And
Pouring your own acrylics. And
pouring your own acrylics. Then you can start pouring acrylics for other people because we didn't have the stuff we needed when we haven't even bought stuff to make this yet. Like, and this was, 8 years ago? Maybe a little bit longer?
something like that, yeah.
Like, we still ain't bought the stuff for it. I always talk about it, but
All we need is a pressure pot. I've got the vacuum.
you do have the vacuum?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I use it every day.
Oh, yeah. HVAC. All your tools come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our mouse tools. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about our product of the night.
Which
And that is...
comes in handy when using acrylic for inserts.
That's true. Why?
Because of the spacing in between. So they came out, Mudhole, American Tackle, the whole conglomerate that is Foundation, came out with the Aero 2E. Basically, it's the Aero seat, but with a window pocket so that you can use things like acrylic or the carbon fiber sleeves or directly to the blank and have it exposed and have wraps under it or
Snakeskin
marbling,
or marbling.
anything showing underneath the seat to just add another spot to customize your rod.
Your decals or feather inlays, like any of that stuff that you can fit in there. So it's just another way to customize it and make it your own or the customer's. Big thank you to our sponsors, Foundation Outdoor Group. We're going to ICAST in 10 days, which time is flying. I swear to God, it was like 2 months, not a couple weeks ago, but
It does seem like it was recent.
it's very quickly going. I've got 4 rods I got to finish. One of them actually is going to be a giveaway that will happen after ICAST, and it will be an online giveaway. And I'm not going to give you any more details about that because I want to keep you on your toes. But very excited to be part of that project, and it's going to be pretty slick.
Are they giving it away during ICAST?
Not during, it'll be after ICAST when we get back. So everybody on the internet will have a chance to do it because it's going to be a viral giveaway.
I'll make sure to touch it for you.
Just give it a little bit of good luck so you can have a fish on or something. Get here, fishy. So, but yeah, super excited about that. And going to be basically this year, instead of me just sitting there rapping on a PVC pipe and doing demos and stuff, I've got so many rods I've got to finish building for customers. We're bringing customers' rods with me so I can finish them up. And I'm pretty sure the hot dog rod's going to go. Paw Patrol may go. The brook trout, if I haven't got I've already got the insert already. So
the graffiti set's supposed to go.
The graffiti set is going as done. It's finished though. I'm not building that there because of the 8-foot rod and stuff. Most of the ones I'm taking are shorter projects, so I don't have to worry about people knocking the tips or anything like that. So yeah, I'll be building rods while I'm down there. So that's going to be different and fun. So hopefully I don't mess up the guide trains, wrapping them 4 or 5 times.
Have a whole wrapper to yourself.
Whole wrapper to myself, just sitting there hanging out, having a great time. But also going to have Mudhole crew there too.
Yep.
So I'll be able to,
Take a little break.
take a little break. One of them will come sit and chill and do some demos and rap, and it's going to be fun and exciting. So can't wait to get down there. It's always a fun time at ICAST. Always. And really, really appreciate the fact that they invite us to go. So it's always fun. So big thanks to them for allowing us to show up every year and be the goofballs that we are. Basically working with acrylic, just be safe. When you start turning it, get the right proper tools, make sure it's carbide tools, make sure you have a face shield, make sure you've got proper PPE in that situation, no long sleeves on the lathes and things of that nature. If you aren't using a face shield, which you should be in that situation, at least have some sort of mask that will get rid of the fumes and the dust and stuff. because you can get very sick from the dust that's coming off of it. You can get nauseous, headaches, dizziness, the whole shebang, the upset stomach. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that, but you can get some irritation and stuff. I swear, every time I list it off, I think about the Pepto-Bismol commercial. That's how old we are. You know, just take your time when you're turning it. Make sure you have a face shield or something to block the dust. Proper tools. Carbide is your best friend. And once you start it, just make sure that you realize that you're going to mess up a few before you get right at it. Mm-hmm. Practice makes perfect. But generally speaking, great material. Mm-hmm. We need to start working with some. We just haven't had the time.
Pretty durable.
The need.
The builds.
Nobody's been asking for it, but it's one of those things. If you start working with it, people will want it. So try it out. See if you like it. But we are going to head out. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we will talk to you later. Bye.